Friends, thank you for watching my channel. I just want to remind you, if you need wallpaper, go to www.wallpaperboulevard.com. Tell them Spencer sent you. In fact, if you use my hashtag, Spencer Colgan is wallpaper, they'll be sure to give you 10% off at your checkout. No matter how much you order, they have a wide selection of wallpaper. Check it out. Hey, I know the video's long, but I hope you enjoy it anyway. The following 1 minute is a synopsis of everything the video is about. So enjoy the clip, but then watch the following techniques on how to achieve what's coming up next. Hi, this is Spencer Colgan from Spencer Colgan is Wallpaper. Welcome back to my wallpaper and painting show on YouTube. I have a small powder bath here. It has an eggshell / satin finish on the walls and on the wainscoting, as you can see. But now, take a look right here. You see that little texture that's created, right? It's unintended, but it's created, that's called stipple. S-T-I-P-P-L-E. Far away you can't see it. But you know when you can see it? When you walk into a room and you stand close to the wall and you look long ways down the wall. That's when you can see it. Now, for us painters, that's something that we notice. Now, there are ways to reduce the effects your applicator has on the finish. Spraying will not create that stipple. It'll present other negative problems that can result from not being familiar with how to use the sprayer. But using a brush and a roller, which is what most do-it-yourselfers are going to use, can be used properly so as to reduce this effect. So I'm going to show you in this video how to reduce the stipple effect that results from using paint that's too thick, using an applicator that's too long if it's a roller nap, and using the wrong brush. Okay? One of the ways you can make texture on a wall is to use the wrong roller. One of the ways to reduce it is to use the right roller. One of the ways to create stipple is to use paint that's too thick. One of the ways to avoid it is to make the paint thinner. One of the ways to make brush marks is to use a stiff brush. One of the ways to reduce it is to use a paint thinner in the paint. And I'm going to try to cover all of these in detail in this video. Let's get started by sanding the surface to make little scratches, or what we call keys. Keys in the paint surface that makes the next coat of paint stick. Okay, so look close at your paint job. You're a do-it-yourselfer. You know what you have the benefit of that your contractor doesn't? You have time on your hands. You have time to make your job perfect. And many of you do-it-yourselfers are perfectionists. I'm telling you right now, there's a very good chance that you'll do your job better than the contractor will. I have 3 sanding sponges here. These are sponges. This used to be this. So, this will actually scratch it. But if you have concrete outside, then you just go rub it outside onto the concrete. If you can't find a finer one, you just go scuff this on the sidewalk, like I did here. All we're looking to do is make little imperceptible scratches on the surface into which the paint can insert itself, thereby creating a bond, okay? You can use a liquid deglosser, but that's a chemical, and that's going to be on your hands and everything else. I have here a fine angled sponge. This is great for getting into these corners, right? And I would highly recommend this one. They're in the store the same place as these are. Okay, now, are we ready to paint? Who says yes? Well, if you said yes, watch this. You're not ready to paint, okay? Don't underestimate the effect that dust will have on your surface, okay? Now, a couple of things to consider. One, a damp white cloth will take all of that off. You might think a vacuum, but you know what? You're not gonna get the fine stuff off with a vacuum. You'll do it with this. Now, here's the next enemy to a perfect job. What's this? That's air pressure. Air pressure. And what's on the floor outside? Dust. Okay, there's a dog in the house. You see that? Do you see this hair here? Now, the reason I do that is to tell you, keep in mind that there's air pressure while you're doing your paint job. Every time somebody opens and closes a door, the air in the pressure increases, moving those hairy things onto your surface. So, you want to make sure you eliminate that. And I'm not saying you should or you have to, but if you shut your air off while you're doing this, at least until it dries, you're going to get a spray room finish. You know, they have sophisticated filtration systems in places where they spray your doors or your car or other things that are done on site. They're done at the shop and then they bring them to your home. That's a controlled environment in which dust is eliminated something like 99%. Okay, so keep that in mind. I hate this. I hate sloppy work. You know? Look at what sloppy painters leave, what kind of work they leave for you. There's no other way to do it, folks. Okay, look at that. Of course, it's going to keep metastasizing. Okay, now. Okay, I'm going to put some drying compound on that. And then we're going to hit it with primer before we paint it. So after you do your sanding, you want to get this off. I'm doing a separate video on painting the door. So maybe you're the folks who watch all of the videos. Just wipe this down. Get all the dust off of it. Listen. It's a lot of dust on there. Now, before I let you go from this frame, you want to wipe off the dust that's on your new protective masking, okay? Because you may not realize it, but this is a lot of dust. Get it off the wall, make your job perfect. When you're all done, just get it up off the floor. Because it'll be on your paint job. And you'll be unhappy with the final finish. I truly believe that when you do work to the best of your ability, you feel better about yourself, you know, your product, your name. And when you don't really get fulfillment out of the fruits of your labor. Work becomes a really hard thing for people who don't get fulfillment out of it. I mean, seriously, if food were not tasty, we would not really eat. So I had COVID, so I lost my taste. I gotta tell you, eating became laborious. It really did. It's like I don't want to eat. I can't enjoy it. So if you don't enjoy your work, you're not gonna make a good product. Right or wrong? So what I'm doing here is putting the second coat on. The second coat involves just hiding the brush marks that are inevitable when it comes to semi-gloss. Now, there's a lot of tricks you gotta learn here, okay? But you can learn it. First of all, if your brush is too big, you get a smaller brush so you can get in these areas. Sometimes brushes are just too big. Now, you see where I'm getting right now? You see this angle? You want the bottom part of the brush. See the bottom part that's in your screen right now? That has to go in. That's why we have these angled sash brushes. Now, watch this. Let me show you the wrong way to do this. Watch this. This is the wrong way to do this. No, this is wet. I don't want to do it over here. Okay, that's all second coated. I just wasn't able to videotape that. This is going to get one last coat. Let me show you how to paint this the wrong way. Watch this. What am I doing wrong here? I'm messing this up for you. It's not about too much paint. Look what I'm doing. Look at my brush, slow motion. Oh, lots of mistakes here. A lot of mistakes here. Look, I'm gonna do everything wrong, just for you. Okay. Now watch this. It's not the speed either. I'm just trying to speed up the lesson. Okay, now watch this. I'm correcting, this is correcting the problem. If this is the way you're painting this, you're doing it wrong. I'm going to show you why. Look at what we just did there. Oh my goodness. This is a disaster. When you paint with a brush, here's what you got to do to avoid this mess. Watch this. Watch. I'm going to show you the right way to paint this frame. Watch. Oh, look at how different. Now watch this. Watch this. Look where I start. Ooh, what am I doing here? I'm just painting that part. Don't get the paint all the way out here. Let me fix that before it dries. That's crazy. Don't do that. Many of you are doing that. Come on, don't do that anymore. Look at this now. Look at how beautiful I just corrected it. Look. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. Now watch this. Look at that goop. Get that out of there. Be methodical. Nice. Nice and easy. Look. One. Look where I'm ending. In the middle. See that? Why? Because there's a profile here. I gotta get this pooling, P-O-O-L-I-N-G, pooling of paint in check. I can't let that happen. Look at what I'm doing. Watch this. Look, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now look how I finish. Watch this. Down, then up. One stroke. If you keep doing this, look what you do. Look. Look what you do to the paint. No, we don't want that. Now, sometimes we do get paint on the outskirts. Not a big deal, as long as you don't make texture, stipple. As long as you don't do that. That's fine. But this has to dry. This has to dry before you can paint this area again. You see that? Gotta let it dry. See that? Nice even strokes. Look. Nice. Look at the brush. See that? Look what I'm doing. Look at how I lift off. Watch this. See that? I'm not doing this, look. Look what I would do. I'm doing this nice and easy. Not a lot of paint on this brush. I'm feathering out the paint. Okay, I'm preparing for a third and final coat. What do you think? Okay, it's very important. Now, I'll show you the right way to paint one of these boxes. And I left one right here so that you can see how to do this right. First thing we're gonna do is get any crumbs out of the way. Gotta do that. Okay? By the way, if your customer has a sloppy form of paint job and you see this kind of stuff, you can carve this off. Let me show you what I mean. Sometimes they say, oh, you dripped paint. All you gotta do is scratch it with your thumb. And when it doesn't come off, you say, oh, you know, this is old stuff, but I'll take it off for you, no problem. You gotta be careful here. Okay, you carve that off. Now, okay. Now, we approach this methodically. First, you know we make it rough. Because we want the paint to stick. Gotta make it stick. Just scratch it up, that's all. Especially here, look. Now let's wipe it up. You hear it? You hear that dust? Okay. We're dealing with semi-gloss paint that's slippery. It doesn't want to stick. Now, I'm not going out there. Don't do that. You make a mess of this. Okay? Don't make a mess. Now, if you see drips during this video, I see them too. Don't worry about them yet. Just follow what I'm doing step by step. Look what we're taking care of first. The inner part of this trim. The inner part, right? Wow, look how nice it's starting to look. Okay. Okay, now watch this. Take my brush, go in there. You want to get the drips. Here's how you do it. Don't get tempted to paint this in one swoop. It doesn't happen. This needs 3 coats. That's the pain with semi-gloss paint on slippery surfaces. So make sure that you know it's got to do 3 coats. Now, you can paint this part with a brush. You can do that. That's fine. That's the way they used to do it a long time ago. So this is how you would do it if you only had a brush. Get it on there. Don't worry about it yet. Okay? Now, watch this. I go to the top, I go to the middle. And that would be it. That's it. That's it. Let this dry. Now we can deal with the outside. You see how that works? Okay. Okay, watch this. We're gonna deal with this first. Okay? Get that brush in there. And you don't have forever to do this. Paint starts getting stiff. If you must, use an extender. Use an extender if you must. YouTube Spencer Colgan, how to eliminate or avoid brush strokes. And you will see a video that has about 250,000 views when I painted crown molding and I used an extender. You see how I cleaned it up? Every time we go back and forth, but then we finish it off like this. Like this. That's not gonna drip now. Now we'll deal with this. Look at this mess. Gotta get rid of that soon. Okay, no problem, Spencer. Let's continue. Oh, I feel my paint pulling. I might want to put an extender in this. If I don't, I gotta respect the drying power of this paint. Look at me. I'm not going onto this wall. Look what I'm doing. Oh, wow. That's right. Don't get it on here. You'll create drips. Oh, let's be smart here. Nice. Okay, don't forget. This is the second coat. I'm sorry, on this one, this is the first, but we're preparing it for the final coat. That's the point. Look. Wow. This is a separate piece. Address this first. Okay, no problem. Get that out of the way, right? You see how you can't get it done in one coat? You see the old color coming through? That's all right. Don't rush it. Okay. Look at how beautiful. See that? Now I'm coming up against this. We already did that, but we can do it again. You're not going to see anything on that. Nice. Okay. If you do it like I'm showing you, trust me, your job's going to look gorgeous. Okay? And if you mess something up, wait till it dries and sand it with a very mild sanding sheet. That's all. Look, I'm cleaning up. Watch, look, very gently. Up and down, very gently. I'm holding it very lightly. Okay? Clear caulking. We don't want colored caulking because the edge will manifest a white line. We want it to be clear. I know you don't have it in the UK. No? Sorry. I understand. I've heard you guys don't have it. Now, I'm going rough, aren't I? I want a lot of paint on this thing. Oh, but look how careful I'm being. If I get it on here, this is how I do it. Look. Wow. Oh, I come back up here. Look, I see a little pool and get rid of it. Always look back. Look back. Always be willing to do this for the first 5 minutes. You'll avoid a lot of drip marks. Okay? Just do that. Okay? Now. Back and forth, back and forth. Now, finish stroke. This is called a finish stroke. This is the application stroke. This is the finish stroke. Nice and gentle. From one end right toward the center. From one end right toward the center. Right toward the center. Just finish it off. You're not going to get drips there. If you do, they're going to be minimum. Okay? This is the application stroke. Look how rough it is. Get it in there. Get it in there. Back and forth, back and forth. Don't go near the corner. Careful. That's where paint gets dripping. You know that. Now. Okay, look. Here we go. Wow. Okay, now watch this. It's all wet. We've kept a wet edge. That's what it means to keep a wet edge. Now watch this. And because it's a wet edge, we can do what I'm about to do, which is this. Boom. Go to the corner, pull it toward the middle. Go to the corner, pull it toward the middle. Go to this edge, pull it toward the middle. Pull it. Nice. Now, start in the middle. Why? I don't want to bring too much paint up there. Okay. Nice. Go to the end, pull toward the middle. We're just cleaning it up, preparing it for the final coat. Nice, nice, nice. There you go. Consider that a second coat-like finish. I don't like this. What's going on here? Let's get some more paint on that. Now, don't go have a cigarette or lunch. You need to stay and watch. That's what you gotta do. And when you come back for the last coat, first thing you're going to do is hit the frames. Frames, 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 frames. Because these are the places where paint likes to come off. Okay? Then you're going to let that dry. Let it dry. Because then you're going to hit the outside and the inside separately. And so it's good if you get more paint on it, you know, as you're doing this part and this part. This is already done. And so you give it a little extra as you're doing this and this, you know? These can't get enough paint. The paint likes to come off. Okay? That's how we're gonna do it. As I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm aware of the thinness of this layer of paint on this particular area. And so constantly giving it more paint, because here's the secret to this, okay? You're rushing it. You want to get off your knees. You don't want to be doing this. And so what do? You put on a lot of paint. You put on a lot of paint, don't you? And when you put on a lot of paint, what happens? You get drip marks. You hate the job. The customer's not that happy. Right? Light coats. Multiple coats. Let me give you a rule. If it doesn't look good with 3 coats, give it 4. Oh, yeah, right, Spencer. I don't have the time. Maybe in your fake world. Yeah, I got news for you. I've redefined the standards of painting in my area with my customers. I don't let customers tell me how long something's supposed to take. It's a little bathroom. Okay, you know my first words are? You do it. You do it. You tell me how long it takes you to make it perfect. Well, Spencer, let's not go that far. Good. If you're gonna put 5 coats on this, I understand why. You didn't use the high quality brush. You didn't put thin coats, you put thick coats, and you wound up pulling the paint. I understand. But 3 coats, think 3 coats when you're doing something like this. 3 coats. I mean, in some areas, I'm putting 4 coats of paint on this thing. Okay? Look. This thing has 3 coats of paint. Look. It's missing paint. Okay? So while I'm waiting, I'm going around the room. Okay? Because I want it to look perfect. Now, some of you are saying, yeah, that's great, but I don't have the time to do that. Oh yeah? Then charge more. Because your name is mediocre. That's your name. I'm not trying to be a wise guy or hurt your feelings. Your name is mediocre. If you're not trying to make this perfect, what are you trying to do? You're trying for mediocrity. That's what you're doing. And you're achieving it. And that's why you're not making more money. Because your name is mediocre. But if you change your game and say, no, ma'am, sir, this is what I gotta do. When I leave here, I can't have you calling me back, except for more work. I have to make this perfect. And in order to do that, and then when you explain it to them, you know what they say? Wow, I never knew that. One of my customers recently said, Spencer, I'm sorry, I never knew what went into wallpaper. I said, I know you didn't. I know you didn't know. You don't hang it. She said, it's a little wall. I didn't think it was going to take you this long. Never. She doesn't know anything about skim coat. Nothing. So, you explain to people what's involved. And they will say, I didn't know. And they're willing to pay more for quality work. And if they're not, I'm sorry to say to you, you need to find customers that will pay more. Because here's what's got to be. You got to be happy at what you're doing. And if you're not, you're never going to be given a great job. You want to be able to say, I got to do this. I really got to give you a good job. And this is the time it's going to take me. 4 coats. No names. But one time, somebody was so annoyed at me that I took so long to achieve a certain objective. And the person said to me, I never saw anybody take this long to do this. And I said, well, that's not the measure. Your understanding of what it takes to be successful at a particular thing. I have a certain level of intelligence or lack thereof, and it's going to take me this amount of time. And just because Joe can do it quicker doesn't mean that I can. You understand what I mean? Some things require more time, and some things require more time for certain people on a particular thing. Do what it takes to make it perfect. Now, as we're waiting for this to dry, and boy, does it look gorgeous. Remember this, when we did this, and we protected it here. Does this happen to you? I put tape all over this. I protected this, but Spencer didn't do perfectly. But you know what? I'm going to straighten it out. Get yourself these, and one of these, and get to it. You don't need this, but you do need something like this. You just want to get a little paint on it. Just a little. This is a sponge roller. great tool. Now, watch this. Let's purge it just a bit, all right? Whoa, what's going on, man? Let me tighten this thing. Okay, I purged it. Here's why. I don't want a lot of paint on there. I don't want it going on the brown side of it. So check it out. Watch this. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Wow. You see? If you don't use too much paint, you see what happens? It's not tempted, so to speak, to go elsewhere. You know what I mean? Just a little bit, Okay, let's purge it a bit, just a bit. Nicey nice. Now let's go where we want it. Okay, Spencer, nice and easy. Wow, look at that. Look at that, my friend. Isn't that gorgeous? See that? Just goes right to the edge. Nice. My customer's working, so I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to whisper. Okay? For those of you who think I'm always trying to entertain you, I'm not. Nice. Yeah, show us the other side. Okay, there you go. Okay. That's not my trip mark. Okay, let's try to do this. Wow. Nicey nice, come on. Oh man, I already messed up. Okay, I'd love to do that. Can I do that? Wouldn't that be perfect? I can't. So we gotta do this. Nice, look at that. Look at that. Wow, look at that. Look at that. How do you like that? Don't press too hard, it'll wind up on the other side of the door. Don't do that to me. Make me proud of you. How do you like that? Okay, very nice. Very nice. Wow. Okay. Come on now. See, I'm letting it off on the left. I'm not going near the where I need it yet, because remember, pooling, you want to get the affected area with only the necessary amount of paint, not too much, especially when you're doing this, okay? You see what I'm doing? Okay, come on, bring it up there. Look at that. Look at that. You want to go playing with a brush? You will never separate the brown from the white with a brush. You will be there all day. I tried it when I was 15, 16, and 17. You'll never do it, trust me. That's when I have time to waste. Okay? That's how you do it. Okay, now. Get a brush and do this part, because the roller won't go there. After you do that, get the roller. Now I'm going to show you both sides simultaneously. Watch this. Okay. Get comfortable. Purge the roller first. Okay. We don't need a ton of paint on it. Now look at that. Look at that action. Look at that. I didn't paint that yet. So we now have to paint some of the dark. This is ideal. This is the ideal side for obvious reasons. Wouldn't you agree? So use it. Make it work for you. Wow. You want to be perfect? Get the tools to do it. It's pain. But nobody told us to be painters, right? Did anybody tell you? No. You wanted to do it. If you want to be a happy painter, or any craftsman, no matter what you do in life, here's the key. Do the best of your ability and charge adequately for your time. Touch up the other side. Touch it up. Don't go crazy. Just touch it up. Okay. Not working. Fourth coat. Okay. Scuff it up with your sanding block or your sheet of sanding paper. And now we're just looking to get rid of any brush marks. Last coat, folks. This is the last coat, don't forget. We're not looking to paint it. We're simply looking to just put the final perfection touch, you know? It's got the paint on it. We want to eliminate any brush strokes that we may have created by putting a nice smooth coat on it. And, of course, to fill it in wherever we may have messed it up, okay? This is tedious, okay? You can see all the obstacles here. Look at the way I'm stroking it, okay? Look where I'm ending. Right in the middle. Look, pulling it. Nice, nice and soft. Okay, folks. Okay, now, understand I'm gonna change the technique over here because I can go quicker. So, back and forth on the bottom trim, right? Hold on. Okay, hold on now. Now, I want a nice thick coat on the bottom. Why? That's where people kick into it. You don't want the paint coming off. I don't care how good it is. Unless it's scuff proof, in my opinion, baseboard paint needs to be different qualitatively than your wall paint. Okay? Did you know that your bumper on your car is painted with a different quality paint than the rest of your car? Oh yeah. It's called chip resistant paint. Same exact color, same exact layout, right? Now watch this, watch this. I didn't do the perimeter, meaning this part. Watch this. Here we go. Oh yeah, we're gonna make it look nice. Okay, get it on. Then we're gonna finish stroke it. I don't care if you go this way or straight up and down. I don't care. You gotta know what you're doing and make it all look the same, okay? There you go. Now, watch this. Let me do this one. Color. Okay. Okay, now, let's get the outside. Now, what about this? Keep this in mind. What about this? I'm creating a ridge, right? Right or wrong? Am I? Yes. But guess what we're gonna do? We're addressing that right away. Look. Look. Okay. Look, I'm uniting all of it. Perfect. Now, see what I'm doing? I'm uniting it all on my last coat. Do you understand what I mean? It's all gonna look like one piece of paint wallpaper, so to speak, without a seam, because it's all going on at once, meaning it's all gonna be wet. Okay. Come on now. Let's get that roller going. Okay, back and forth, back and forth. Look at this. Okay. In other words, it's gonna be all the same. Look. Now it's all blending together, right? Look. Oh, I didn't like the sound of that. Look. Now you're not going to be leaving marks. Okay. Don't let it dry on you. I'm joining this. It's all wet. Don't worry about it. You kept the wet edge. Boom. Hit that. Hit the face again. You can never do that enough. There you go. Okay. There you go. Look at that. You see that? Last coat. Back and forth. Now, if you didn't scuff it up and you got humid air, it's gonna run on you. It's gonna drip. Okay. We're taking care of the top rail. Now get in here. Okay. This and the top get done together. So there's no rough paint. Look what I mean. See that? I'm getting that because it's the last coat. Okay. So move quickly. Move quickly. Keep it all wet. See that? Get rid of that. Oh yeah, okay. We're doing the perimeter and the top of the rail, the exterior part of this rail. Now watch. I got too much paint on there, so I'm purging the roller here. Now, let's go. Oh, nice. Look at that, look at that. Nice. It's all wet, don't forget. Meaning the whole perimeter outside of this is wet. Okay. Look at how beautiful it's all coming together. Right or wrong? Or I should say, look at how beautifully it's all coming together, right? How many of you are English grammar Nazis? Or should I say English grammar fanatics, right? Okay, folks, that's your perimeter. It's all wet. Boom, let's go. Inside the box, back and forth, all the way from left to right. Overlap it. What do I mean there? See the line there? Watch this. I'm overlapping it. See that? Okay, what do you think? Give it the once over. Can never put enough paint on that outer rail. I call it a rail.